So anytime I do these counseling sessions and something sticks with me, I feel like it's an urge or a call from somebody or something to share it with someone. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing. So I had a counseling session not too long ago with a young lady who had tried to take her own life. She'd swallowed 15 sleeping pills, um, and was actually saved by her daughter. Her daughter tried to wake her up, and when she saw that she was unresponsive, she called 911. And so the young lady is saved, and she's getting the professional treatment that she needs. But I was honored to be able to give her some assistance and some insight as to what's going on in her life. And once she started explaining to me that, her family situation is not stable, and relationships with her children's fathers is unstable, and then the men that she chooses to carry around her just keeps weighing her down. She just felt like the pressure of life and the stresses, the easiest way out was just to remove herself from the equation. And then she started talking about the little voice that's inside her head. And she said this little voice just kept telling her that this is the best thing for her children, it's the best thing for her family, that she can be better off in the afterlife as she is alive. And so the little voice became kind of like the topic of our conversation, right? So I hear little voices all the time. And back when I first started hearing little voices, yeah, people call me crazy. But I attribute the little voices in your head to be, a message from an angel or some kind of benevolent spirit that follows you. We have spirits that follow us all the time. They're with you as you're watching this video. Whether you believe in it or not, they're there. And just as we are able to receive messages from an angel or a benevolent spirit through the little voice in your head, you are also able to do the same with the malicious spirits or the ill spirits that follow you. And so she started to ask me, well, how can I tell the difference between the two? And one of the things I told her is to trust in your gut, because it is your gut that your spirit really lies. That's why people tell you follow your heart, listen to your gut, because that's where your spirit self exists within this physical body. And so I said to her, would your spirit, who reincarnated into your body, would your spirit want you to respond this way to your problems of life? Because your spirit is on a never-ending journey. It's on a journey. That's why it has reincarnated into this body. And that's why you are experiencing life the way that you are, because it is through this experience that your spirit will progress along its journey. Okay? Every lifetime is a chance for your spirit to grow and to get closer and closer and closer to the Creator. Okay? And so this lifetime is just another stop in this journey. Okay? So I said to her, is this what your spirit that has come back into this form, is this where your spirit would want this journey to end? Is this the way that your spirit will want your journey to end? Do you feel like you've come and you've done what you're supposed to do, and that you're all, and that's it? And then we started talking about the differences between those benevolent and malicious spirit voices that you might hear in your head. And to kind of dim that voice from the negative spirits, it really, really matters upon how you walk your walk. It really matters upon the behaviors and the thoughts that seep into your head. So if you're behaving in a negative way, that's not conducive to your spiritual growth, then you're opening the doors for that negativity to come in. If you're behaving in a way that's full of hate or full of jealousy or laziness, or you want to feel like you're the victim all the time, or you don't know how to share love and spread love and be happy, then you're going to attract those negative energies. And then when you attract them, they'll stick to you and they'll do what they have to do to get into your head to deviate you from your path. They'll do what they have to do to get into your head to block those messages from the angels. And the more you behave in such a way, and the more you carry this negative energy around you, and the more you allow that to be a part of your life, the easier it is for them to get inside your head and make you do something that is totally off course than to what you're supposed to be doing. And so I really had to talk to her about the behaviors, about her behavior, about the things that she's doing in her life, about the things that she's telling her about herself. Okay, and then self-esteem is one of her huge issues. And you never tell it when you talk to her, when you look at her face to face. She just seems like she's always in control. She seems very strong. She seems like she doesn't take no mess from anyone. But when you peel back those layers, it's just a shield because she's trying to cover up her insecurities. And she doesn't see all the blessings and the beauty that's around her, that's given to her. She doesn't see that. Why? Because you got all them yuckies over there cock blocking. She got the cock blockers. But you know what? Them cock blockers did not succeed this time because it's not her time. And her journey is not over. There's still a lot left to be done. And the weight and the stress and the pressures are just a test. They're a test. And when you see those challenges, and when you come face to face with those stresses and that chaos, and you see it through, your blessing is so much greater on the other side. But you have to be persistent, and you have to have faith in you that you can see it through that, and you have to have patience. You can't expect because I thought a happy thought that happy things are going to follow. This stuff takes practice and building and growing and patience. It really does require a lot of patience. Okay? So I just felt like this was something that I needed to share with you. And maybe this is something, maybe suicide might be something that you thought about, or maybe it's somebody that you know that might be experiencing this. And there are signs. There really are signs to it. And one of the things that's hard for what I do is that I see those signs and I can recognize them very easily because, you know, I see the good in people, and I see when there's something that's blocking other people from seeing the good within them. And, you know, you try to counsel them in a way that can be of use to them, but when their head is just filled with all these negative thoughts about themselves, it can be hard to deliver that information. And so sometimes you got to find another way around it. And one of the ways that I find when it's hard for me to kind of penetrate a message like that, to get them to get that message, are you guys following me? One of the things that I do is just compliment them on something that they don't normally get complimented on. You know, like I might say, wow, I really like how you responded to, you know, how you answered that question. Or I compliment on the weirdest things. And it's hard for me to give an example because it really has to be in that moment. But I usually will give a compliment, and that's a blessing, in an unconventional way, because then they look at me and they're kind of like shaken up. And sometimes it might stick with them because then they're trying to figure out where it came from. And the more they try to think, they're thinking about what I just said to them, it's kind of pulling them away from that negative thought that they had, or these negative feelings that they may be feeling, because they're trying to figure out where this compliment came from. And that's kind of like me planting that seed. So, does that make any sense to y'all? Okay. Yes. Love, light, and peace to you all. Enjoy your Monday.